Welcome back to the Breakroom.
Yes.
The New Rockstars live show streaming right from our official Breakroom here at New Rockstars HQ. Now, we had a whole show planned, and then something dropped that delayed the beginning of the show that we've got to both watch and talk about immediately. And that we got a new full trailer for She-Hulk streaming on Disney Plus later this year. And we are going to live react to it. I've seen it because I'm a spoiler crazy nasty freak, but none of them have. And so they'll all be giving their authentic reactions, and I'll be giving my canned, very fake reaction. Producer John, can you play that trailer? Play my trailer.
Being a superhero is a trial by fire. Who's gonna protect the world if not people like you?
I'm Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great friends.
Can we get some shots, please? It's an emergency.
A demanding job.
We just started a superhuman law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
And a frustrating family.
Cause you didn't ask for this, but you still gotta deal with it. Your transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing.
Oh.
Bruce, kind of feels like if I don't transform, I'm gonna die.
Yes, yes, yes. No, no.
I just want to be a normal, anonymous lawyer.
Can you tell us where She-Hulk is?
Jen, you're a story now.
Girl, your ass looks crazy right now. You could be an Avenger.
Oh, I'm not a superhero. That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason. Is there anything more depressing than dating in your 30s?
Yeah, this is the best date I've had in a while.
Oh.
Should we split some fries?
Let's get those to go.
So ready for this. I'm going to dress up as her 24/7.
And now we should say Eric Voss is going to be dropping a reaction to this probably shortly after the break room is done. And we'll have a full breakdown of this, finding every Easter egg detail, missable thing, probably tomorrow on the channel. But for now, we're just going to give our very green reactions to it.
Oh, yeah.
Thoughts, things that stand out.
I liked what I saw.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
And I'd love to say more about that, but every time I give an opinion, I get a shock from San Francisco straight into my neck. So I'll have my thoughts on Tommy's time tomorrow on the break room.
Tommy's time.
Yeah, I have like 1,000 questions. Like, why is Hulk just Smart Hulk still? Has he not transitioned into Banner? Is this before Shang-Chi? Also, what was that big building? Is that like SWORD? Is that DODC?
Oh, no. You have something to add to his? Because I have nothing to add to his.
Oh, I did have one thing.
Yeah,
That's
go
okay.
ahead.
No.
Oh,
now we've
God, we're
fragmented it
too
much.
polite. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was going to say that I'm more excited to see she's training to be Hulk, where Hulk is like originally like just like, I don't know how to control this. It's like she seems like she's going to control it very easily, and she's not afraid to show off who she is. Right. So I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I love the fact, well, no, you go ahead, Tommy.
Well, all I was going to say is I am slightly relieved, just my initial reaction. There had been a lot of rumors going around that this was almost going to be like a complete sitcom.
Right, like a comedy.
And I told, and I can't, obviously, we're not allowed to talk too much about, when you audition for things. I auditioned for this show, and the script that I auditioned with, which I'm sure was fake, and you can't talk about the role, because they always give you fake lines for any of like the Disney Plus stuff, because they just want to see if you can act. Obviously, I can't because I didn't book it, but it did feel very sitcom-y. So I thought that there was some credence to that, and I am relieved just as a viewer and as a Marvel fan that it appears to be kind of more of a straightforward.
And now they decided to go with Tatiana Maslany over you, Tommy.
And where did Tim Roth reprising his role? I thought I was in the hunt to replace him. So.
Well, and speaking of which, I don't think this is spoiling too much, right? We see Tim Roth there. Yeah. He's playing Abomination. Right. Now that's a depowered Abomination.
Yes.
The Abomination we've known in the MCU is not a go back and forth kind of character. He always stays monstered out. And the last time we saw him in Shang-Chi fully monstered out.
So we're saying, are you thinking this is the monstered out?
No, we saw the actual actor, Tim Roth.
No, that's what I'm saying. Do you think we're going to see him get monstered
We
out?
also saw a clip of him as Abomination at the very end.
Were you watching?
Some kind of
I was hooked on She-Hulk the entire time, and I kept being like, look at how great she looks. She looks up, because when she first got casted, I was very nervous from reading like some Marvel comics and seeing She-Hulk be like the strongest, buffest bodybuilder woman on the planet. I was like, oh, I'm kind of
a great actor and just give her a bodybuilder body, right?
And
I
mean, all the bodybuilders can't be great actors. All the great actors can't be bodybuilders.
Let me feel this. Let me get up this. My fingers.
That wasn't me even flexing.
I do love that final shot of her cradling her Tinder date.
Yes.
I've done that before.
Besides the Loki on Loki kiss, is that maybe the sexiest Disney Plus moment we've got?
Oh, Disney Plus?
I mean, we did have Luke Cage to the library recently, and there's a scene with Jessica Jones.
I still think Oscar Isaac's in the hotel room in his skivvies.
Oh, yeah.
When he's drunk and sad?
Hey, it's sexy as sexy.
I mean, that's sexy only in the leering at attractive bodies. This is like a physical act of intimacy.
I've been in a few hotel rooms with Oscar Isaac, and he's just in his underwear. He's just a fart machine.
We did see.
Once the door closes.
Well, we know you're all about that hotel life.
I mean, we saw Wanda and Vision and WandaVision go under the covers and lift the covers down.
A little up to the imagination. I think, again, the show, it's a lot of action in that. I do a couple things that stood out to me. I love that Bruce Banner is back on some kind of tropical place, right? The first time we saw the Mark Ruffalo version of him when Black Widow is going to retrieve him in the first Avengers movie, he's in like tropical India or something like that. Looks like he's on a nice island now. I also love he has a murder chamber that he keeps in his lab.
Yeah.
I think it said Stark on the saw, maybe, or like a Stark.
But there's
Stark saw wall.
That's not repurposed woodworking stuff. That is just a murder chamber.
Yeah. Somebody made that for very specific.
Again, now we'll also give this the caveat that Disney Plus upfronts are taking place right now. That's how we got this trailer. If another one happens while we are broadcasting live, we're gonna try to cover
figure it out.
Producer John will rush in sweaty and panicked and hold up a laptop or something like that for us to look at Cassian Andor or Secret Invasion or who knows what.
Or maybe just like a new Mr. Toad's Wild Ride teaser. You know, we all would love to return to hell with Mr. Toad, right?
That's right.
Return to hell.
Isn't that where you go in that ride?
Yeah, the ride ends in hell.
A lot of people would argue the wait to get on the ride is the real
hell.
Now we intro the actual episode. I'm Zach Huddleston. I'm here with my good friends and co-hosts, Mr. Brandon Barrick, Jessica Clemons, and the Mr. Toad to my Mr. Weasel, Tommy Bechtold.
So great to be back, guys. We were in good hands yesterday, but Brandon and I we couldn't wait another day to come back.
Well, I was gone for a few days. I had some things to take care of.
Yeah.
And I saw some stuff went down while I was gone.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you leave because of the haunting that was happening?
Well, I can't say why I left. I was dealing with some things, and they have been taken care of. Now, I will say the murderer appeared to have long hair. It wasn't me.
Wow.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
Beautiful long hair. I only think of one person. Brandon.
It wasn't.
Well, maybe if you watch the entire episode today, you might get some answers in some of those riddles. But some other things you're going to get on today's episode. We're going to be talking about the Secret Invasion series. We're going to be talking about some other Doctor Strange cameos that got axed. We've got some Aquaman 2 drama. We've got some John Watts Star Wars news. And in addition, some Echo news, all kinds of stuff coming up. But first, of course, we remind you that here on the Breakroom, we have a reverse swear jar. Okay? Now, that's not where you swear and you get money. You take money out of the swear jar.
That's too dang bad.
That when we hit $100 in Super Chats, which we're so thankful for everybody that's throwing out currency to thank us, when we hit $100 in the swear jar, it unlocks a single swear that whichever host happens to notice it in the moment gets to unleash upon you, the viewer. Otherwise, we do not curse.
I can't friggin' wait for that swear jar to fill up like heck.
Tommy watching the swear jar like a hawk.
I know, this guy. He's an eagle eye on that.
He's the swear jar sniper.
The swear jar sniper.
Yes, so we'll be watching that. And again, we'll thank you for everybody super chatting. We'll try to come back to the chat and the super chat near the end of the show.
Yeah.
We'll have a little Q&A. If as we're talking about different news and items, if something sparks your curiosity, throw that chat in there and we'll try to get to all of them.
And we wanted to thank our number one super chatter from yesterday, I believe it was Paint and Minetti.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
for that. You unleashed a really nice deluge of profanity on myself and a few of the other hosts.
Almost a song of profanity.
There's a lot of Star Wars news coming out. Kathleen Kennedy dropped a nugget-filled interview with Variety, right?
That's right.
And we're going to try to dissect some of those pieces of news. But first, we've got some Marvel news. We got our first image and show description for Echo, the kind of quasi-Hawkeye sequel series coming up on Disney+. There it is. There's our Alaqua Cox as Echo. And we know that we got a kind of brief synopsis of the series. Said the show revisits Maya Lopez as she tries to escape her ruthless behavior in New York by returning to her hometown. She must face her past, reconnect with her Native American roots, and learn to trust friends and family if she has any chance of moving forward.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Now, no mention of any other MCU characters that might be popping up in there, but we can assume.
So, yeah, but there are a lot of, it seems like there are a lot of Native American actors joining the cast, which is exciting to get a little bit more diversity and exposure in kind of an area that's been ignored by the MCU, whether purposefully or not. I mean, I'm sure accidentally.
We'll probably get pieces of Wilson Fisk.
Yeah, that leaked. Not leaked or
there was a leak.
No, it wasn't a leak. It was the resume of the costume designer. She put on there that she did the costuming for the actress who plays Echo, I forget her name, and also for Wilson Fisk and Daredevil on the show Echo.
Oh, that would be great.
I think we'll definitely see Kingpin on that show. Daredevil, I don't know, but I think it would be really cool.
Because as a reminder, the last time we saw Echo, she was shooting Wilson Fisk in the face.
That's right.
So
But then she left. She ran.
Now, it could also be in flashbacks.
Yeah,
Like, she has a
could be
long history
flashbacks.
with Wilson Fisk Kingpin, so maybe we just see some flashbacks.
I can see Wilson Fisk still coming back. He's like, I need to finish.
And I think that synopsis kind of hints at that. Like, she tries to get away from her dangerous New York history, but it follows her. So
well, and is Echo a target for, like, Val? Does Val want to recruit Echo?
Right.
For her on the team?
That would make a lot of sense.
It seems like, kind of crossing over some questions we've heard in the chat. I imagine what they were going to possibly do with the Thunderbolts is now probably being taken over by Val. Would you say, like, kind of
yes,
the
as Phil kind of mentioned yesterday, William Hurt, sadly, the actor passed away in real life. So maybe, in the MCU as we know it, Val, Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character is maybe going to be the shepherd for that group as opposed to the comics version that Thunderbolt Ross was often kind of the leader. In an interview with publication Zavvi, or website Zavvi, Ms. Marvel star Iman Vellani says the upcoming show, starting in June, the show really embraces the coming-of-age vibe, saying it's like a John Hughes-esque mixed with Lady Bird and Scott Pilgrim. Now that's name-dropping some pretty nice coming-of-age content.
Those are all coming-of-age.
There. It's a lot more lighthearted than the other shows. We showcase that being a teenager is awkward, corny, and weird. I think anybody
for some people, not for me.
No?
I turned 13. I got this great beard, this banging body.
You're only 15, right?
I'm actually 14 and a half.
You're not legally supposed to be here. You can't even be on our Discord. So
I'm not on the Discord. I was removed by the mods for very good reason a long time ago.
I've been reading Miss Marvel recently, and that sentence alone is completely what the series is. She is so awkward, and her group is just a bunch of corny, like 15, 17, 16-year-olds. I don't know why I skipped. But it's so good. It's so good, and I can't look. I'm now looking so much forward to the series.
And certainly her referencing Scott Pilgrim makes sense in that trailer footage we've seen that has kind of like cartoony animations interspersed with the live action. It'll be really interesting to see what that series looks like.
It's gonna be lovey-dovey if it's anything like the comics.
Maybe, that paired up with that She-Hulk carrying her date. I mean, this could be a horny summer for it.
This could be a horny summer.
There was a super chat from Charlie836 that asked if Jess
Charlie XCX
carried him like She-Hulk.
I will carry each of the people in the chat like She-Hulk.
There's going to be a lot of maybe young men and young women who haven't thought sexually in a certain kind of way that might start thinking.
What if my partner was gigantic?
Yeah, I can carry a man that's 6'7". I can carry anyone.
All right.
I am
upcoming
built
mandatory
to
fun. Just carries each of us.
I carry each of you on my back.
Quickly calls my mom to ask her how tall I am. Mommy, am I 6'6"?
Check your underwear to see your height.
That's why you're under 21.
What's my blood type, Mommy?
Also, a quick Xavier in the chat. Tim Roth will be the only. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to finish reading the super chat.
Come on, Xavier.
Come on. I think the She-Hulk series looks
Or
great.
is it Javier?
You need. I will not reiterate again. I mean, it's our jobs to read comics here, so we can bring it to you without you even having to read it. But the 2014 Ms. Marvel is so fun and such a quick read that you need to read it and then watch the series.
Yeah.
It also is like, if you're not interested in like coming of age kind of stuff like that, then Ms. Marvel might not be for you, because this is a young woman that's of color coming of age with superpowers.
And you know what? That's a great point. I think we're now at the point where Marvel's making so much content, especially with these Disney Plus series, they're not all going to be for you. Because there's a variety. But guess what? They're making like 6 series a year. Yeah. So if 4 of them are for you, that's a pretty good batting average. Yeah. You can just ignore the other 2 and rewatch Hawkeye or rewatch Loki.
Yeah,
or whatever.
If you can't stand to watch a whole episode on Disney Plus, come on down to the break room and we'll cover it for you. We'll put it in those digestible little birdie break room bites and then
ping,
spit them in your mouth.
Spit them in your mouth.
We got a trio of unconfirmed Doctor Strange 2 related cameos that came out this week. These are rumored. We don't have confirmation from the production team. But first, there was reportedly plans for a Ghost Rider fight scene. That got cut out. We don't know who would have been playing Ghost Rider. Supposedly.
Wait, what?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, and we don't know how early this was. This could have been at the storyboard stage, right?
Well, I suspect that there was a version of this movie that dealt a lot more with the kind of demonic, like, testing the levels of, like, what you can do from, like, those hell demons that were like, Doctor Strange or Stephen Strange, you know you're breaking the law. Yeah, exactly. But I wonder if maybe, like, at this point, they were going to establish that, like, Ghost Rider was, like, in hell and sent from hell to, like, you know, maybe stop Strange or stop Wanda from, you know, maybe doing something that Mephisto or one of the other, you know, demons didn't want them to do.
Mephisto confirmed?
I'd say Mephisto Tom firm. Yeah, and again, as we've all mentioned on this show before, just because you cast Ghost Rider doesn't mean you cast an actor. If you have him in Ghost Rider mode, doesn't
just
mean
give him a flaming skull and maybe a Michael Clark Duncan kind of voice, whatever. Michael Fassbender was supposedly set to reprise his role as Magneto. Now, maybe you don't need him if you already got Charles Xavier, Patrick Stewart. So maybe that kind of makes sense that they didn't burn him up.
He also might have been a backup if Patrick Stewart was like, nah, I don't want to do it.
Patrick Stewart had talked about how
he was like kind of iffy on it, right? Yeah.
But I think, you know, it seems like more and more that what came out is they weren't sure who that Illuminati was going to be for a long time, and they had a lot of different, like, maybe it'll be this combination, maybe it'll be this combination.
Yes.
I think what they ultimately settled on was really cool, though.
Yes, absolutely.
I really quickly want to go to the super chatter NOK said, because it is actually a pretty important and very nice question of, like,
I believe NOK was the currency. The chatter is Allison Becker.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, you're in trouble. Oh, no, sorry. Allison Becker mentioned, can you really, where is it? It's like, can we really ignore a series when it's connected to the whole MCU? And I don't want to be the person to say this, but you can. So
they
you
give
easily
us recaps.
can.
They give us.
They give you, not only do they give you recaps, but for someone that, like me, I read the comics, yes, but there is a long time for me to actually watch a lot of the Marvel series. It took me so long to watch Daredevil. I know that isn't completely in the MCU now, but there's some MCU things that you can, especially having people like us that keep up to date for you, you can be like, I don't really want to watch this, and get the notes, the spark notes from us.
Yes.
From us and from Eric Voss.
The official New Rockstars platform is watch whatever Disney Plus series you want. Always watch the breakdown.
Always watch the breakdowns. We'll give you spark
Consume
notes.
all of our content. It doesn't matter if the actual original IP you consume or not. Tommy just had a technical issue. No return of the Charlie horse, though, right, Tommy?
I pissed myself. No, I've been horse-free. That's Charlie horses and heroin for 10 days.
That's the trickle horse.
Yes.
Trickle horse. And then finally, the third cameo that was supposedly planned at some point was Deadpool was going to show up in a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
And what? In Multiverse of Madness?
Can you imagine if as Pizza Papa finishes punching himself and says it's over, and they just pan over, and there's a masked, you know, Wade Wilson just being like, no, really. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or
with the
he
mask
just
rolled up.
continues hitting them.
Oh my God. It would have been fun, but it also makes sense that they're maybe waiting.
A lot of this too could also be, we saw this in Shang-Chi, right? They have those pre-visualizations, those artist concepts, and they'll just throw characters in there because they're like, I just have to draw someone, and they haven't even written the script yet. So someone might have seen one of these and been like, oh, they're bringing back Michael Fassbender, but who knows?
Very much one of those, wouldn't it be cool if, right? Yeah.
Very cool. Well, what also was cool this week, Samuel L. Jackson, he's been talking about playing Nick Fury on Entertainment Weekly's Awardist podcast. He revealed that working on Secret Invasion, he learned things about Nick Fury that he didn't know before. Things that he's been playing Nick Fury since the beginning of the MCU. And they've been kind of going more into his backstory and who he is. And so he's learned a lot about the evolution of this character, or as he says, the de-evolution of this character. Is this a Mario Brothers thing? Is he getting turned into a dinosaur?
Down?
I don't know. That was a 30-year-old movie reference for you guys. But the main point he was making on this podcast was like, this is a great way to dive deeper into what's going on in Secret Invasion through Nick Fury. We have a clip if we can play that for you guys.
There are things that even I really didn't know about Nick Fury that I just found out. The minds behind what happened during the blip are, fantastic because, that's part of what, we're uncovering when we do this series now. Giving me an opportunity to explore something other than the badassery of who Nick Fury is, and I've had a good time doing that, and I'm looking forward to people, sharing that aspect of who he is when this series does happen.
We'll talk about what Nick Fury has to say about the blip, but first, what Variety article did Nick Fury or did Samuel L. Jackson find so important to cut out and hang on the wall? He must have been in Variety 1,000 times.
I think it was probably an article about when I was cast on Glee.
Oh, maybe.
They're probably like, Glee cast young 30-year-old newcomer.
Yeah, I wonder if that was like his first Variety mention.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He won an Oscar this year. They didn't show it on the show.
Yeah, Lifetime
but they finally
Achievement.
gave him an Oscar.
Lifetime Achievement.
Maybe it was for that. But
What do you
anyway,
mean he finally got an Oscar? Didn't he get an Oscar before?
Nope.
No.
Never
No.
was.
yeah.
They didn't.
No.
I didn't watch the Oscars this year, and I guess this was the year to watch them. But are you telling me that they didn't show him get the honorary?
No, they did it in the
No, it's in the pre-show.
This is so stupid. What are we even doing?
Get out of here.
Stop.
Come on,
Anyways,
back
so
to
the
the
blip. So that's what's most fascinating to me. Nick Fury got Blip.
Nick Flurry.
Nick Flurry, not to be confused with the Mick Flurry.
Nick Flurry loves M&M's.
You gotta get it before 10 p.m. or the machine's broken.
Yeah. But we saw him get blipped in Infinity War in a post-credit sequence.
Yeah.
He's holding the pager to call Captain Marvel. He tries to slip in a mother effer. We can't afford it yet. But he gets blipped. He gets dusted. Dusted confirmed. This isn't one of his fake deaths that he loves to do so much.
Yeah.
Like in Winter Soldier, where he fake dies. He actually got blipped. So what could we possibly learn about Nick Fury during this blip if he's not there? What is so fascinating about it?
Well, I do love, and Samuel L. has done a lot of press for Marvel stuff in the past because he's been a part of the MCU since almost the beginning. So he's savvy at not trying to spoil anything or not say anything he's not allowed to say. But I couldn't help but over-dissect. He did say the word fantastic.
Yes.
Just saying. I also love, we were saying devolution. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody in the chat could say, I've always thought it was de-evolution. Is devolution an actual word? And if so, is that Mephisto confirmed? Devolution.
Devolutions.
Well,
Devolution.
The Fantastic thing is interesting, right? Does a Mr. Fantastic show up and bring in a Nick Fury from a different dimension? Thinking that the blip will never get undone. The blip gets undone, and one Nick Fury has to die.
Yes.
So one can live.
It's like the Prestige. You can't have all those Hugh Jackmans running around.
They gotta kill those Hugh Jackmans. That's a spoiler for a 20-year-old movie for you guys.
Come on. It's only like 15 years old.
There's a lot of references I do not get on this show.
Oh, no, baby.
I grew up with Yo Gabba Gabba instead of Mr. Rogers. No one cares.
But Jessica,
I'm just a baby.
Jessica, do you think it's possible that someone brought Nick Fury back from the blip before everybody else?
That would be really sick. The thing is, I would love that. I would love it, but I don't think it's possible.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna actually happen, but I would love it.
Can I
love
ask
it
a
more.
question because maybe I'm just a little dense?
Sure.
Does Secret Invasion take place during the blip?
No, not that we know of, but we've been theorizing that the blip is a great time for some evil Skrulls to come in and impersonate people that were blipped away.
Right.
Very easy to slip
Yes.
in.
Well, I have a thought. What if Nick Fury was like so savvy that he had like 15 Skrulls all playing
Ready
Nick
to go?
Furies. So the Nick Fury we saw blipped was actually a Skrull.
Scrolls on scrolls.
But he never came
This
out.
Skrull knew about the pager and was allowed to carry the pager. He was the most trusted Skrull.
He was the most trusted
I mean, Talos impersonating Fury had to have been clued in. That was an authorized impersonation, right? Fury was fine with that. He probably like gave him a certain degree of security clearance, told him some stuff that he would know. So maybe that was something they've always had.
He's known at that point. He's known Talos for 30 years.
Right.
So he really trusts this guy, and possibly Talos slipped in as Nick Fury during the blip, like before Far From Home.
I just feel like
you are the most
it would be so.
Skrull of them all.
That's how Nick Fury sounds. I just think
I wasn't
it's.
doing a Nick Fury impression. Racist.
I'm not. I just. This is the second time on this show where I've been referred to as the racist.
Whoa, when was the first?
Yesterday.
By who?
Philip.
Oh, well,
that checks out.
He's as problematic as a pea pot.
Oh my God. I was gonna say. I just don't think that. And I mean, check me if I'm wrong, chat and everyone here. I just don't think that Nick Fury would be in hiding during the blip if he wasn't blipped, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he would have came out.
You don't think he'd carry some ashes in his pocket?
He
and
just
screw him up and like,
He's
oh, God.
He's underneath the chair.
Oh, mother.
He's underneath the bed.
I mean, we saw those scenes of like Natasha and others like gathering to like try to plan how to go about things during the blip. Like, it'd be terrible if he knew they were meeting and he wasn't helping.
Maybe he needs a break.
It's not even, I don't think it's that he would need a break. I think it's also that, like, sometimes Nick is just, like, a punk. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, it's like, without the help of, like, Carol Danvers and, what's her, I always call her Colby Smulders. What's her character's name?
Maria Hill.
Maria Hill. It's kind of like he doesn't really get too involved. So I think having the Avengers that we did have in the blip or outside of the blip are what they were gonna stick with. Nick Fury, what was he gonna add to it? Just be like, here's my talking point. I can't physically help you that much.
One thing that might be interesting to consider is that in the comic books, you know, Nick Fury is old AF. 616 Comics Nick Fury, you know, he was born in the early 1900s. He fights in World War II. He's part of the Howling Commandos. He fights with Captain America. And then during the war, he's given, I think it's called like the Infinity Formula or something, which is not a super soldier serum, but it's something that extends his life and allows him to live during the rest of the comics. We don't know that about our Nick Fury yet. You know, we saw him in Captain Marvel, and he was a young, up-and-coming SHIELD agent.
Yeah, he's lost some hair,
He
he's
certainly
lost
has
an eye.
aged, but like it's also like Captain America who starts aging much later, right? It could be that he, you know, when we see him in Captain Marvel, he's not. He's already like 60 years old or something like that. But he has some sort of weird formula in him.
That would be a weird thing for them not to have mentioned in that feature-length film.
I mean, why not? He doesn't have to, he doesn't tell people about it. It's a big point in the comic books because like bad guys are always trying to capture him to steal the formula out of him because it's like this mysterious thing. So he could have something that has extended his life for longer, and maybe that's what we'll learn about.
I think like some of the things he was saying, I'm really anticipating this being kind of what we were talking about, how like they're now able to explore different genres, coming of age, action, comedy, legal comedy, whatever.
Right.
Like, I think this is going to be hardcore spycraft, right? This is going to be
Secret Invasion?
Yes, it's going to be twists on turns, on double crosses, on you don't know who to trust, like a real Mission Impossible style.
Are you guys really excited? Yeah, I know you're excited for
very
Secret
excited.
Invasion because you've been saying that
Big
like
cast.
everything
Big
is like
cast
big
synergy.
cast.
Ben Mendelsohn.
I think
Olivia Colman.
I'm the only tamed person that's like, yeah, I'm more
no,
so.
get hyped.
I will get hyped once I stop believing that everyone isn't a Skrull. Like, I don't like that.
Everyone's
I
a
can't.
Skrull.
Everyone's a Skrull,
It's
but I
Battlestar
can't trust
Galactica
anybody.
all over again. Everyone's a Cylon.
Use a scroll. Scroll. Use a scroll. Scroll. Use a scroll. I said that use a scroll.
Vera Morris put up a super chat. What if Nick has been dead since Winter Soldier and all the other Nicks are Skrulls?
They're all scrolls. Scrolls. They're all scrolls. Scrolls. They're all scrolls. In Winter Soldier, they're all scrolls.
This is not mandatory fun yet. Also,
But it
by the
will be
way.
Just you wait.
I would love that. That'd be so sick.
What?
That what the super chat
Everyone's
said
strong.
of everyone just a scroll, and he's been dead.
I mean, this is going to be
time.
having lived through Battlestar Galactica on TV, like this is going to be a tough time where you're just accusing everyone all the time of being a scroll.
That's the thing that is going to make me so mad watching it. It's going to be everyone turning on themselves because they're going to be like, who is actually who?
But that's the fun of a spy series, right? You never know who's the secret double agent. Yeah. This will be like, you never know who's a secret different species, right? Like, it's going to multiply normal spy show hijinks by 1,000. Speaking of multiplying your fun by 1,000, we'd like to thank the sponsor of today. Actually, all week, we're being sponsored by our good friends at Boxu.
Oh, yeah.
Boxu is a monthly subscription service that delivers premium Japanese snacks and tea pairings straight from Japan to your door. Each month, you get a cute little box like this. Wow. And those boxes feature some kind of a theme providing a gourmet journey through Japan. Today, we have I'm going to mispronounce it, the Tanjubi box. Tanjubi is Japanese for birthday, and this is a box celebrating Boxu's 6th birthday as a company.
Hey,
congratulations.
Happy birthday,
Boxu. To celebrate it, they picked out like truly the top snacks from both their staff and their subscribers. There's a little peek. Now, Tommy and I both got down with a couple. This used to be
my boxes.
This used to be a little heavier box, but Tommy and I both looted and polluted on it earlier.
I said, box it to me, baby.
Yeah, I had the black sesame cookie that was delicious. I also had a little mochi treat that was also delicious. Tommy, you got
I
into?
had a Tokyo baked base chocolate banana, like kind of like a biscuit. Ooh. It was so good, but let me tell you, the real MVP of today's game, it was this mochi truffle, and it had strawberry in the middle, and I had one, and I fed Philip one off a toothpick. Did Samantha, our coworker, had one, and we all agreed that if we ever find these again, we will not share. We will not. We are a trio now of mochi truffle lovers. And we will not share our mochi truffles.
These boxes are truly filled with, like, we kind of talked about it yesterday when we pounded our way through one of them. A lot of little surprising tastes, all kinds of like unexpected treats that if you're in North America like we are, maybe you don't see these that often. And we're going to be sampling different Boxu boxes all day this week. Order one. Send us a pic of you and your loved ones popping open a Boxu. Maybe we'll share it on the show.
Maybe mail your mochi truffles that you don't want to me. I'll give you my personal address. Just find me on Twitter.
Yes. People have been sending Tommy all kinds of fun pictures on Twitter. To try Boxu yourself and support new Rockstars, click the link in this video's description and use code Rockstars, ROCKSTARS, to get $15 off your order. Code Rockstars, the link in the description. Thank you so much to Boxu. Also, we want a quick shout out our merch partners over at Epic Hero for their cool cozies here that we're rocking on set. These are called soup cans. They're available on the, okay, I've screwed up the prompter. They're available on the Epic Hero shop. Brandon's gonna fix it.
And RockstarsMerch.com.
Yes, check these out, Epic Hero shop. I've ruined the script, but you know what, Tommy? You know what I think time it is?
Hang on, I hear a chime in the distance.
Oh.
Fun, 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 fun. Fun, 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 fun. Well, let me check my watch. It must be time for mandatory fun.
No!
Oh, yes, that giant clock that tells us A, when the world's going to end, and B, when mandatory fun happens. So nice, we play it twice. Hit my graphic again. All right, now it's time for mandatory fun. The segment where world-class philanthropist, lover, genius Tom. Oh, this is from yesterday's script. Forces his 3 best friends to have fun with him. Philip tried his best yesterday, but let's be honest, you can't teach an old dog a new trick. Good effort, Philip, but it's time for Daddy to take over, okay? The man is back. All right. Now, I know that this is mandatory fun, but I thought today I'd make it just for me.
Okay?
For the rest of you, it's pop quiz time.
I'm horrible at pop quizzes.
I'm going to throw you all a rigorous test of MCU knowledge and really just Marvel Comics knowledge in general, but bust out those whiteboards. And by the way, for those of y'all being stingy with the swear jar, you want to see me drop an F-bomb in this segment? You got $18 more to fill up, my men and my ladies and my dudes. And now it's down to 13. Immediate response. That's called the Bechtold bump, all right? This jar is going to be up to 1,000 by the end of this segment. Now, Everybody hide your whiteboards from each other because y'all can't be trusted. You're snakes in the grass. First question. In the movie Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, what color is Doctor Strange's cape, cloak, sentient cape, whatever the thing is? You know,
which Doctor 616 Strange?
I don't know. You answer the question.
Okay.
You're already messing this up.
Okay.
All right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reveal. I can't read what you put.
Should we read it?
I put 2. I said 616, it's red. 838, it's blue.
Okay, so you didn't specify, so I said maroon with a blue patch on the back.
Oh, I also went with maroon because I figured red wasn't clear enough.
Well, all 3 of you are wrong because I'm talking about Defender Strange who wasn't wearing a cape.
What?
Yes.
Then why did you ask what color the cape was?
Oh, I'm sorry. The answers are 0, 0, 0. Play the graphic again. Play the fucking graphic again.
It says 87. It says 87. No, because I was waiting for it to say 107. I was waiting for it to say 107.
All right, question number 2.
Thank you to Michael Gallego for pushing us over the top.
Thank you, Michael. You're a dear friend and a confidant.
Can you zoom in on me, John?
In relation to T. Michael?
My thing says Tommy sucks because he's a liar.
Yeah, well, you know what? Tommy sucks, that's sure. That's true. We're getting that. We're putting that on merch.
Oh my God.
It really took the wind out of my sails. I was just trying to have fun here today.
I can't say anything.
It's time for mandatory fun. Play the graphic again.
Oh my God.
Let's get back on the fun track.
Yeah, Tommy too sensitive.
Yeah, Tommy's not too sensitive, except for where it counts.
Oh, okay, go.
Tommy too graphic.
That's why Tommy can't wear corduroys. Okay?
Oh God, go.
Those are cooked by 10 a.m.
Tommy too
Too much
over
rubbing.
here.
All right, now listen to me.
Tommy TMI.
Tommy TMZ. Let's do this. Question number 2.
Okay.
In the Marvel Comics, what color is the original color of Beast's fur? In the Marvel Comics, what color is the original color of Beast's fur? In 5.
Hold on.
4, 3, 2, 1, and reveal.
I said, oh, you want to go first, Zach?
Well, I said blue.
Okay.
I'm trying to catch on to your bit, so I said he doesn't have fur.
Well, I went with brown because before he takes the serum, he's a brown-headed guy, and so his hair would be brown.
But is he white?
Funny. He's a Caucasian male with brown hair. I got brown fur.
In the original comic, the Beast does not take a serum. He is a man.
He's a man.
Born with freakishly large hands and feet.
Yeah.
And superhuman strength, and he has no fur. So I'll accept Brandon's answer of brown hair because he has brown hair.
Thank you.
Great. So that's 1 to 0 to 0 to 0. But this is mandatory fun, and I haven't quite felt the fun yet. And I think the reason why is the normal chemistry's not here. And the reason I have to say that is because I suspect I'm not amongst my 3 best friends.
What?
I suspect I'm amongst my 3 best Skrulls. That's right.
A Skrull?
None of you are the real people you claim to be. You're 3 Skrulls. And in order for me to believe that that's not true, you need to answer a question now that only the real Brandon, only the real Jessica, and only most of the real Zachs would know. All right, Brandon, first question for you.
Okay.
What kind of underwear did you wear yesterday?
Yesterday?
Yeah. Jessica, your question. What's that special thing we say to each other every night before we go to bed? And Zach, your question. What's my favorite memory of you and I?
Okay.
All right.
For underwear, yesterday, I know this because I am Brandon.
Yeah?
I was not here.
Okay.
I was dealing with things.
Okay.
And I was not wearing underwear. I was going
Commando.
I was going commando on my
Going
show.
Howling Commando?
Howling Commando's the
All
deal.
right, that is shocking. That is shocking that you got that right. Jessica?
I said, we don't go to bed with a winky face.
Jeez,
Wow.
Louise.
Okay, I'm kind of thrown because I thought for sure you guys were Skrulls, but it appears you both got the correct answer. And Zach?
I said Brandon wore Fruit of the Loom.
Wait a second. That is my favorite memory of that time. I walked in on Brandon doing that risky business sketch.
Just take those old records off
the shelf. Wow.
Scroll!
That's nuts. So I guess none of you guys are Skrulls.
Yeah. Thanks, Tommy.
Wait, does that mean
Wait, are you
you're
a Skrull, Tommy?
Oh my God.
Wait, where's he going?
He didn't take his chair. He didn't take his chair, so you know he's a Skrull.
Is that why the other Tommy left earlier, and then a Skrull Tommy came in and took over?
We are so behind on our Skrull keeping up with.
Can you scroll up on the teleprompter? It's very weird that he just ran away.
When do Skrulls just walk? I guess they do run away once they're caught.
Oh, yeah. So. We have some more headlines, again, that we're going to get to. There was a lot of Star Wars news that came out this week, actually kind of in the last 24 hours, including, we haven't gotten to it yet, but Rian Johnson, his trilogy is still on. So that was the director of The Last Jedi, right? A little controversial. Mm-hmm. They kind of took him off making the subsequent Star Wars film, but supposedly still in development, 3 more Star Wars movies, or at least the second and third installment of those Star Wars movies are coming. They were on the back burner, but after Knives Out 2 and 3, supposedly he's gonna get back to it. The same article also gave us info on the upcoming Disney Plus Star Wars series. We already know Kenobi's coming out at the end of this month. And we learned that Andor, which follows Diego Luna's character from Rogue One, will be coming out this summer, which was kind of sooner than we thought.
Oh. Yeah.
We still don't know the exact day and month, but we're hoping for maybe like a July, August release, maybe.
Hey guys, sorry.
Tommy's back.
Sorry, I'm 40 minutes late for the show and have not been here at all. Did everything go all right?
You weren't late, Tommy. You were actually here at the beginning. We watched the She-Hulk trailer.
That wasn't me.
We talked about Nick Fury.
I shared an intimate moment.
No, I was taking a long winter's nap.
Oh.
Unfortunately, if the prompter's broken, here's a hard copy of the script.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Tommy.
As well.
No, that's strange.
Yeah.
We also, I guess welcome back. There's nothing else that could have explained that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's my bad. I'm sorry I fell asleep, but so you're saying there was a whole Tommy here.
There was somebody that looked exactly like you. They were wearing the Agatha all along shirt and everything.
Yeah. Huh. They accused us of being Skrulls.
They did.
Are you saying that on this show there was a Skrull?
Skrull!
There was a Skrull!
Skrull!
There was a Skrull! I was a freaking Skrull!
Skrull!
Okay.
That last Skrull really lost some.
Yeah. When it's a Skrull confirmed, it's not quite as enthusiastic. Finally, although he's taking a break from making Marvel movies after stepping away from Fantastic Four, Spider-Man director John Watts is reportedly teaming up with Homecoming co-writer Chris Ford to develop an Amblin-inspired Star Wars TV show. Now, for folks not in the know, Amblin is the...
It's when you kind of walk slowly, right?
Well, it is that, but it's also the banner under which most of Steven Spielberg's films are made.
Yes.
So usually when people say an Amblin style, they're referring to E.T., Goonies, other kind of like kid-focused. Even one could make what was the J.J. Abrams... Is it called 16 millimeter? Super 8. Super 8.
I was going to say 8 millimeter.
That's a very different movie. Super 8.
No, that's a really feel-good film.
Stranger Things is arguably Amblin style.
Well,
right?
I have a question. This is a pure question. So if you know in the chat or if any of you know, aren't there actual Amblin Star Wars films? Aren't the Ewok movies? Weren't they co-produced by Amblin?
Like Wicket or?
Yeah, the one that's like the little girl that meets. There's like 2 Ewok movies that were direct to video.
Isn't it like Wicket or? Willow.
No, Willow is not a Star Wars movie. There are 2 Ewok direct-to-TV movies from the 80s that I think were co-produced by Amblin. And I think that's more what they mean, that they were kind of like child adventures. Like they were Star Wars universe, but they were definitely for kids, unlike the original Star Wars movies that were made for 45-year-old men that live with their parents. Right.
So I mean, again, this is just early stages of development for this series. It's not slated or anything like that, but that's interesting. And again, kind of as we see more Star Wars series, that will be a more diverse set of properties as well. So this is going to be maybe a kid-focused one. Supposedly, there are casting notices for child actors. Could be kind of fun.
Speaking of children, because I'm the baby of the show, it's my segment. It's Breakroom Breakdown.
Hey!
You thought you were the only one with a segue. Today, we're looking at Eric Voss's video about potential appearance of the god Bastet. He calls it Bastet, we call it Bast in Love and Thunder. Chrissy in the chat did say, super chatted, in ancient Egyptian, they added the suffix of T to words to denote. I don't know how to read. Denote them as feminine, which gives an et sound, ending sound. Bast for Wakanda, Bastet for Egyptian. Eric's 100% correct. Bast came first. I'm gonna say Bass. I'm gonna say Bass. Play that clip, John.
I think all of these gods, representing the diversity of faiths across planets, are being summoned back to Olympus in this Congress with Zeus to respond to a crisis. Gods are being slaughtered, and Valkyrie, now ruler of Asgard, and Jane, now the bearer of Mjolnir, are among these representatives, as is Bastet. Maybe also the members of the Ennead, maybe the deity worshipped by the Centaurian tribes. That's the race of Yondu, who also appears in this trailer footage. But I also think this gathering is exactly what Gore the God Butcher actually wants, so that he can assassinate as many of them as possible in one strike.
All right, so I'll tell you right now, I disagree. I disagree. And if you watch Rogue Theory, I say that a lot, but I'm gonna say it on the break room too. So, okay, I disagree, but do we agree with Eric? Do we think that's the same?
I almost always agree with Eric because he threatens me if I don't.
Okay, so do we agree with the idea?
Well, I think I kind of agree with him, but what makes you think otherwise?
No, I don't think those are the same locations. I don't think where we saw Mighty Thor and where we saw Valkyrie is the same of Olympus. I think we talked about it briefly behind the scenes here, that he could have been talking to his people and then turned, and there's Valkyrie.
Do you think they're on a Zoom and they set that up to look nice on their end?
I still am ride or die think, and maybe I will probably be wrong, so maybe not die. I do think that is New Asgard. I think Valkyrie and Mighty Thor are in New Asgard, and I know people are like, oh, well, New Asgard doesn't look that high and mighty on the outside. Doesn't mean the inside, like, infrastructure doesn't look beautiful.
It's looking a lot mightier now. In the clips we see, I mean, cruise ships are coming in.
Yeah,
big
people
you're saying the photo, not the clip of Zeus. That's not New Asgard. You're saying the photo of Valkyrie.
The photo of Valkyrie and them is New Asgard.
I am worried.
That's New Asgard.
I think that makes sense because it would have they would probably get the ornate Asgardian architecture done inside first, right? It'd be easier to just put some facades out there.
True, some facades out there.
Just put a couple of
that could be like a medieval times style dine with
they
Asgardians.
They have
you want to dine with the Green Knight?
They have Asgardians with them, right? From Asgard.
Yeah.
And all Asgardians are like strong, live long, have like some sort of magical ability. So it's like they could have a woodworker who's incredible.
Though you're saying that's not Bast or Bastet.
Well, I don't know. My question is that a statue or is that a person?
I think it's her. I think it's her. We were talking about this too because they also, her graphics don't, like, compared to Valkyrie, I'm just two brown-skinned people. I was like, this looks like CGI'd person. And this does not.
Do you think it's kind of crazy to reveal Bast in like a promo image?
No, they don't draw that much attention to her. We also don't know if Bast is going to play much of a role in this. Kind of might be a little more than a cameo.
Also,
I was going to say,
if you're going to show off Zeus immediately, I think it's okay to show off Bast.
Well, show his face.
But we know that.
And we know
that
Russell Crowe was cast and all that.
So I think that's a bigger reveal.
I will say the biggest evidence I'm going to ride with Eric on this is that cornucopia grapes right between Valkyrie and Jane Foster.
Wait.
That
grapes.
Makes me think of Olympus right there. That is a classic, those old school, Grecian urns and still life paintings always had a cornucopia. You get grapes dangled over your mouth as you're, laying out in your villa.
You don't think it could be a gift? You don't think it could have been just a gift?
I wonder if maybe that was the invitation. The cornucopia of grapes.
Yeah.
But also, if you're watching the show right now and you're thinking, what would be a good gift to send these guys? We're dying for a cornucopia on this. Anyone knows a cornucopia sponsor? We'd love to get some cornucopia.
We're corny for cornucopia.
Okay? I do agree.
If you're corny.
Yeah.
I will conk for corniness all the time. But I will say that I do, I will say that I do agree with, Hold for sound. Hold for sound.
They're filming something next door, and they have heavy equipment going by.
I think that I do agree with Voss, where they're like, "This is the meeting of all the gods that we've seen so far."
Now, why
Maybe not the.
Why do the Greek gods have that much power. Like for instance, the Ennead seems like very much like our own people.
You saw that location. They can't home as many gods as Olympus. I guess.
The location that we saw in the Great Pyramid, that was for Earth. Like they live in the celestial Heliopolis.
Well,
it's like, why would everyone listen to the Greek gods?
It could be. What about just like the Senate in Star Wars? What if it's a duly elected popular vote and Zeus is just a popular guy amongst all the other gods. They elected him as the Speaker of the House or whatever, right? You can't tell exactly from that angle. There might be other people at similar heights, right?
Yeah. Are we now after Multiverse of Madness? Like, are any of you on edge of like, okay, this thing with Zeus and this entire thing, we're going to lose these gods very quickly. Like, Gore's going to come in and, like, Russell Crowe's going to get his head cut off in, like, 2 seconds. He's going to say, like, 2 lines, and then Gore's just going to...
We were talking about that at the beginning of just, like, this isn't going to stay. This scene is just like a, come get a taste. And then when you show up, they're all going to get slaughtered. And I don't know if I said, I agree, that I think it's going to be Hercules as the last man standing.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Well, we were like, Hercules is going to be the last man standing. I think he's going to come through. I think he's been slaughtering people. They're going to Zeus to be like, yo, we need to double down. And Zeus is like, I ain't afraid of no man call himself the butcher of gods. And then he's going to butcher all of them.
And then Gore shows up.
Yeah, because all the gods are full of themselves and think they're the most powerful.
I think Voss is right with that.
Can I say my controversial prediction of someone that's going to be killed? I think that we could see Valkyrie.
Yeah.
No.
I don't want it to happen. I love her. I write poems about her. I draw
It is
her.
interesting that Jane Foster's there. Granted, she is the god of thunder right now. But do you think Valkyrie was like, yeah, you better come too? Or do you think Jane has some sort... I don't know how much her mind has changed, where she's like, no, I need to be there to protect you. Like, I'm coming to protect you.
I think there's also, if Jessica's right, and those are 2 different scenes, which I think there's a decent chance that's the case, that those are 2 very different scenes. Maybe, as Eric predicts, that is Zeus welcoming a bunch of gods, Gore shows up, slaughters everybody. That is later. That is like a war council later, where maybe like remaining gods that weren't at that initial meeting are gathering around, because again, those are serious faces. Those are not like, hey, we're seeing all our god buddies for the first time in a long time. Oh, great to check in. This is like, oh, the S has already hit the fan. We've got to figure out what to do about this Gore guy.
100.
Well, I certainly hope she doesn't die.
Yes. You wished for Valkyrie's
Tommy
death.
wishing for
We've got it on
Valkyrie's
tape.
death confirmed. In the chat, you guys seem to agree with Eric on this one. 71% saying that the meeting of the gods is all part of Gore's plan in the Thor 4 trailer. Gore seems like a clever guy. He's getting it done. What have these gods done for me lately? Someone's got to kill him.
It's a real Godfather 3 kind of move. You get all the leaders of the 5 families together, then you wipe them all
Whoa,
out.
spoiler alert for a 40-year-old.
And by the way, we call it the Godfather Coda now, because the Godfather 3 people immediately go, I ain't watching that.
I've never seen it.
Here's a... Chaco Bo Kid has a fun super chat. I wonder if there's a council of Tommies where it's always mandatory fun.
No, there is. It's inside my head, and it's been clinically diagnosed.
We do have a few super chats we can go through as we're wrapping up the show today. Charlie836, going back to the She-Hulk trailer, is asking, am I the only one who thinks Bruce is too Brucey, needs a bit more of Hulk's personality traits? Let me know your thoughts. Yes, you're the only one. Let Bruce be Bruce. Let Bruce be Bruce.
Well, it's interesting. I wanted to say, again, we'll have both a full reaction and a full breakdown of the She-Hulk trailer dropping on our channel later this week, probably within the next 24 hours. But I thought it was interesting. In the very first footage we ever saw from She-Hulk from last Disney Plus Day, we saw Mark Ruffalo not hulked up. And now in a similar scene set in a lab, we see a hulked up, and I don't think we see a single Mark Ruffalo alone shot in this trailer. So like, I wonder if that was just a pre and post CGI, or maybe in the series he does go back and forth a little bit.
I'd be pissed if I was Mark Ruffalo. I'd be like, I had to go into hair and makeup that day. You just CGI'd me out.
Come on.
Brad Van, I agree. John Gabers for Hercules. Keep going. Or Tommy.
No, bring in The Rock as Hercules. Let his movie
He's doing great.
John Gabers would be a great Hercules, and he's campaigned hard for the role, and that's why I'm going to snake him at the last minute. Which leads into this other great super chat. So Sam asked, will there be another fit challenge this summer? Yes, and it's going to be me training to be Hercules.
Oh, beautiful.
We'll all get behind that.
You better hurry up, because I heard the movie's already been shot.
Yeah, the movie's done.
It's coming out soon.
Exactly.
Jonas Julius, whose name I always mispronounce, you see him on the Discord a lot, Who do we think will be the first on-screen Skrull? Say that 5 times fast. Revealed in the series. My bet is on Hank Pym. Phase 4 loves being comic accurate.
Whoa.
I mean, this is going to be great fodder for the channel for many, many days.
Yeah.
Who do we think's a Skrull?
I want to be Janet.
I can't wait.
You want it to be Janet?
Yeah, I think that'd be so
the
fun.
Janet he takes out of the the quantum
but
realm
also,
was a Skrull.
Don't you think in this series, I think we could see anybody as a Skrull, and that's not saying they've been a Skrull the whole time. That's like maybe Hank Pym revealed as a Skrull, then we cut to the actual Hank Pym's trapped in a closet somewhere.
He's asking like a comic question where someone's been a Skrull for a while. We've seen on film, assume that they were the actual person, and it turns out they were a Skrull. I like Maria Hill being a Skrull.
Maria Hill. Give her that. Give her that. Let's do as many speed as my favorite thing at conventions is when they do speed questions, which are like yes and no.
A quick one from Joe Bartoloni. Which are you related to Tony Bartoloni of Los Angeles?
Are you the TikToker that's really famous? Gotta keep going.
And now that we're going to get a MCU R-rated film with Deadpool, what do you think will get an R-rated Star Wars project, or will we ever? I'm hoping for a Red Harvest-style Force zombie film.
Whoa, that's fun. Michael Hamilton spent $10 to ask us, David Tennant and Catherine Tate have been seen in set photos for the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. What is your level of excitement for this announcement? Nothing, nerd! Quiet, nerd! Nothing, nerd!
No, we love.
I love Doctor Who.
I'm just kidding.
It's me and MC are the only people here that.
I've barely watched any Doctor Who. I can't get my brain into it. But I support all Doctor Who fans, and I wish you the best because you guys have to eat a lot of garbage.
Okay. Becker 94 said Doctor Strange 2 Def needed WandaVision. Oh, you're referring back to what I said earlier? No, you don't, because you can just watch Eric Voss break it down and spoil it for you.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you wear Doctor Who stuff to a Ren Fair, you're doing it wrong, okay? It's illegal. Don't cross the streams.
John Atten asked, would love to see them bring in a Nick Fury Sr. like they showed in the comics. Let's get someone to be Nick Fury's dad. I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
And also bring back Elijah
Fury.
Bradley while you're at it. I see more old heroes.
I need more Elijah Bradley.
Yuka said, shout out to Fun Facts. Chrissy, love you guys. After a couple of years of following this channel, it's awesome. We get to talk to you guys live. Big hip gang. Oh my gosh, you have big hip
Big head gang.
Big head gang.
We do love talking to you guys live.
Big
We
head
certainly love
gang.
it.
Come on.
S. Elizabeth asked, who do you think will be the most interesting to be revealed as a Skrull?
You said Maria.
Well, 2 people asked that question. It looks like everyone wants to know. Most interesting to be revealed to be a Skrull?
I say
Happy
Janet.
Hogan. Happy Hogan, Skrull. Whole time confirmed.
Whoa.
Aunt May was dating an alien.
Wait a minute. I mean, we know Aunt May is not a Skrull because we did watch The Life Leave Her Face, and she did not convert back to a Skrull,
That doesn't
right?
happen. Remember, they autopsied and they found, this guy's got too many parts. When you're transferred as a Skrull and you die, you stay.
Okay.
Where you
I
were
stand corrected.
at.
That'd be nice because I would like some more Marissa Tomei in my life.
Yeah, bring her back. I don't care if she's an alien. Bring her back.
Michael Gallego says, is Deadpool going to be in the next Thor? I don't know, Mike, you watch the movie, okay? And then you tell us.
Yeah,
what do I got to answer everything for you?
Tommy's turned sour.
That's what we know.
Too much time has passed and our Tommy has soured.
The normally lovely and friendly Tommy has flipped the switch. Wait, maybe all of that was the previous Tommy.
Was the Skrull Tommy the nice Tommy?
Bring back the Skrull Tommy if he's the nice one.
This is a great mental exercise to conduct maybe with your loved one. If you found out they were a shapeshifter this whole time, but they were actually the shapeshifter version of your loved one was better than the normal version of your loved one, would you want to stick with the shapeshifter version?
We know that shapeshifters is Zach's #1 fear. He is so afraid that his wife is the Skrull right now. He's afraid.
Truly, it does give me cold sweats. But you know what doesn't give me cold sweats? All our wonderful viewers, thank you so much for watching. We're going to get to the bottom of Tommy's biology and what his true species of origin might be. We'll report back on that tomorrow. He's trying to talk into his mic. Tomorrow in the break room, we'll be back at roughly the same time. We might have some more Disney Plus news to report on.
Who knows?
Who knows what kind of other trailers they might drop in the interim. We thank you. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Goodbye. We love you. Bye.
Keep it Gucci to Moochie.
Skrull!